And this is more.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
This is more. More savings. More service. More focus on fresh, quality produce. Expert butchers who know more. And the most talked about meat in town. We are Fairway. We put everything into meat and grocery. And this is more.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
This is more. More savings. More service. More focus on fresh, quality produce. Expert butchers who know more. And the most talked about meat in town. We are Fairway. We put everything into meat and grocery. And this is more.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
This is more. More savings. More service. More focus on fresh, quality produce. Expert butchers who know more. And the most talked about meat in town. We are Fairway. We put everything into meat and grocery. And this is more.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
This is more. More savings. More service. More focus on fresh, quality produce. Expert butchers who know more. And the most talked about meat in town. We are Fairway. We put everything into meat and grocery. And this is more.
Check.
Check.
Good afternoon and welcome to Harlan Rogers Sports Complex in Fort Dodge, home of the 2019 Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. Alongside Emery Songer, I'm Trent Condon, and in just a moment we'll have the matchup between the 4th seed in Class 4A Independence, 30-11 on the air against 5th-seeded West Delaware, right here on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Emery, good matchup here, the 4-5 matchups, and throughout this tournament we've seen tight games, the 4 and 5 seed as expected. That's how it turns out to be. Two teams that come in certainly with proud program histories. Independence, though, comes in, girls with a lot of state tournament experience for West Delaware. Their first trip since 2013, so first time playing in the big fields here in Fort Dodge.
And one of the things here, and I talked with Dar Danielson about this on the previous game, you know, while Trainer had some level of success as a school before, those specific girls hadn't played on the field. And it is a different look. It's a different vibe. You know, it doesn't necessarily mess with you in the terms of the field dimensions. They're the same. You know, yeah, there's different stands here, and it's a little bit bigger of a vibe, but it's much like the Hoosiers scene, right, where, you know, Gene Hackman goes over there and says, measure the rim, measure the free throw. It's the exact same as our little court that we have in Hickory. Well, it's the same thing here for these girls, but like you said, in terms of the school, these girls grew up cheering for teams that were well represented here in the way of independence. They have found ways, and there are girls that have been on this field before, but it's all about making the plays, and we saw in the previous game, West Liberty, even though it was their first time ever, they were not scared of the moment at all, and they were making almost all of the plays, had a great pitching outing. The offense really started to click. Anything can happen here, especially in these 4-5 matchups.
Independence 30-11 on the year. West Delaware 30-10, 4-5 seed matchup. Carlisle, the number 1 seed in Class 4A, over on the Kruger Seeds field. They'll be taking on 8-seeded Denison Schleswig. You can also catch that here on the network, and then later this afternoon, it'll be the other side of the bracket, the quarterfinals. 2nd-seeded North Scott takes on Oskaloosa from Kruger Seeds field, and here it'll be Dallas Center Grimes, the 6th seed, against 3rd-seeded Charles City at 3:30. Here, Independence and West Delaware taking a look at these two teams, and certainly interesting. You know, many times we'll look and we'll see one pitcher has most of the starts, most of the record this year. West Delaware a little bit different. Macy Kleitz, she'll get the start here, the junior, but a senior, just about the same number of innings this year. In fact, 1 inning more for Klosterman. Chance of West Delaware, if you run into trouble, know you have another pitcher ready to go right away.
Yeah, and that's you can look at both of these teams and have that kind of vibe with pitchers that have been in a lot of games this season. But like you mentioned, I don't know if you're going to find a more carbon copy mix between Macy Kleitch and Emily Klosterman in terms of 1 inning apart. They've given up the exact same amount of earned runs on the season. Klosterman has done a little bit better a job of striking batters out, but she's also walked more batters. So it's kind of, obviously Coach Hupke doesn't mind having the other Hupke in the circle, so that obviously makes a big difference. But at the same time, knowing that you could basically flip a coin and know you're going to get a similar quality from both pitchers in different points, that certainly gives you an added advantage. And for Independence, with Hupke going to be in the circle with a .52 ERA, she certainly is a clear number 1 with Megan Brock as a big number 2. So when you look at, Kleitch and Klosterman versus Hupke, that is an advantage, and we kind of saw that manifest itself in the game we just watched, where when Sydney Huseman got in trouble for Trainer, there wasn't another pitcher to call upon. She just had to kind of battle through, and they ended up getting run ruled in 5 innings.
Should be a good one here. Independence against West Delaware, the quarterfinals in Class 4A. We'll be right back with your starting lineups. You're watching the 2019 Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Mid-American Energy Championship Network.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
This is more. More savings. More service. more focus on fresh, quality produce. Expert butchers who know more. And the most talked about meat in town. We are Fairway. We put everything into meat and grocery. And this is more.
I wanted a big university experience.
Without the big university price.
That's why I chose Iowa Central.
What makes Iowa Central so different than other community colleges is its size.
Big campus, lots of programs, athletics, and performing arts.
I live right here on campus.
And the teachers know me by name.
I'll be career ready in 2 years.
And all my credits transfer to a university.
It's a big time experience.
Without the big time price.
Come see it for yourself.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Iowa Public Television is the home of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Championships. We bring you live, uninterrupted coverage of the state championships in volleyball, basketball, soccer, and softball. Plus, special features highlighting the Iowa girl. Catch it all on statewide Iowa Public Television, on air or at iptv.org.
All you have to do, you just have to get their feet here on the pavement and bing. Being in Des Moines, you just get it through the experience.
Welcome back to our broadcast of the Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. We're moments away from first pitch. Getting ready, let's go to the PA announcer and meet the teams in today's contest.
Central Field. Loser of this game will play Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. on Veterans Diamond. And now let's meet the non-starters. First, for the visitors on the scoreboard from West Delaware. Number 11, Kinley Colvin. Number 18, Emily Klosterman. Number 20, Alyssa Holt. And number 24, Mia Payton. Assistant coaches for West Delaware, Ashley Rhines, Aaliyah Jordan, and Anna Klaus. And now the starters for the Hawks. Leading off, number 6, right fielder, Eve Rutherford. Batting second, number 22, third baseman, Ella Polak. Batting third, number 5, pitcher, Mason Fleich.
I know for 4 times that easy.
Batting fourth, number 16, second baseman, Heather Hines. Batting fifth, number 10, center fielder, Eva Wynn.
Big man on campus, right here.
Batting sixth, number 3, shortstop, Claire Demmer. Batting seventh, number 15, designated player, Joanna Box. Batting eighth, number 21, first baseman, Taya Demmer.
You can play 7.
Batting ninth, number 2, catcher Leah Wakeman. And in the plate position, number 4, left fielder Caleb Delvin. The head coach of the West Delaware Hawks is Tiffany Ray. And now the non-starters for the home team on the scoreboard from Independence. Number 1, Abby Queen. Number 7, Lexi Hurd. Number 8, Shay Whitman. Number 9, Debbie Good. Number 12, Sophie Wolf. Number 14, Harley Lobar. Number 19, Shanna Clee. And number 21, Addie Bailey. Assistant coaches for Independence, Jordan Pilcher, Holly Osborne. baseball. Ken Nelson, Scott Cleve, and Cole Temple. And now the starters for the Mustangs, leadoff, number 16, shortstop, Tommy Davis. Batting second, number 15, right fielder, Kaylee Hunt. Batting third, number 3, first baseman, Allie Jones Caesar. Batting fourth, number 13, pitcher Mackenzie Hupke. Batting fifth, number 20, catcher Kenzie Mitchell. Batting sixth, number 6, second baseman Brooke Beatty. Batting seventh, number 28, third baseman Harry Puppet. Batting eighth, number 5, left fielder Sydney Hurd. Batting ninth, number 22, designated player Megan Block. And in the flex position, number 4, center fielder Abby Highborn. The head coach of the Independence Mustangs is Heather Hupke. Ladies and gentlemen, our umpires for today's contest are at first base, Carl Wooltridge. At third base, Tony Nelson. And calling balls strikes, Gary Wack. Ladies and gentlemen, let's play state tournament softball.
Starting lineups brought to you by Buena Vista University, located in Storm Lake. Buena Vista University prepares students for lifelong success through transformational academic, professional, and co-curricular programs. Schedule your visit today at bvu.edu. Independence will take the field as the home team, and in the circle, we talked about it at the top, Macy Kleitsch will get the start here, Emory, for the Mustangs. 0.52 ERA for Hupke on the side for Independence. Kleitsch on the other side for West Delaware. She comes in with that 1.75 ERA. Couple of good ones there. Offensively, though, it'll be West Delaware getting the first swings here. Couple of different players certainly to take a look at and look through on both sides here, but should be a good one. Runs you figure going to be at a premium here this afternoon.
Yeah, and we talk about just the difference of how to handle certain situations. Sometimes at the state tournament, you see the big inning kind of just it's a little bit easier to get those big innings because the pressure is really on the pitcher and the fielders more so than the batters, from my experience being up here. So if you could wrap out a couple of hits, put a little bit of pressure on, I've seen more runs scored in those situations than usual, but when the pitchers of the quality that we have playing in this game and basically in this tournament as a whole, getting base runners at all is a very difficult task. So once you get a couple on, you have to make sure that you capitalize, and that changes the entire complexion of the game. So I would expect this to be a low-scoring game, Trent, but I would have said the same thing about the game I just watched, and it was a 10-0 run rule game in 5 innings.
Eve Wetterer will start it off here for West Delaware. 30 up and 10 down on the season, the number 5 seed in the Class 4A field. Wetterer, outstanding campaign here during her sophomore season. Leads West Delaware in hits, runs, doubles, and batting .450. First pitch, and we are underway. 1:31 with the first pitch. Game time temperature 75 degrees here from Fort Dodge. Wind, a breeze blowing in, not prevailing by any means. There's a shot out to left center field. That one up near the wall, off the glove. It'll be extra bases for Wetterer into second base. And leading it off, big hit for West Delaware. We'll see what they officially call that one. Tough play in left field for Independence left fielder Hearn.
So Sydney Hearn went back and was tracking that and just kind of got tripped up as she got near the wall. That's got to be a hit as far as I'm concerned. And they did throw up a hit on the scoreboard. But how about that from what you thought was a slap-hitting left-hander?
And a sacrifice bunt attempt. That one flipped to first. Kolak does her job advancing the runner to third. Extra base hit to begin the ball game from Eve Wetterer. All of our extra base hits during the Girls State Softball Tournament are brought to you by Kruger Seeds. The next time you're in need of corn or soybean seed, give your local Kruger Seeds dealer a call. Kruger Seeds, first-class seed, first name service. After the sacrifice, Wetterer stands at third base, and Macy Kleitsch, the starting pitcher, will step to the plate. Kleitsch for West Delaware this year during her junior campaign 37 hits, batting .349. An RBI opportunity here. She's knocked in 22. Ball skips away. Not far enough, though, for the runner to advance.
Yeah, so overall here, this is the situation I was telling you about. A lot of times early in games, when a team gets a base runner on, the defense tenses up. They have to be ready to make plays.
Check swing there. Did she go? Checking with the first place umpire. And Carl Wooldridge up the first base line said, no, she didn't.
Ooh.
2-1.
I think she also thought she went as well. So
new chance. Slow grounder to short. Throwing home. Runner caught between third and home. Catcher get a runner back. Flips to the third baseman, and the tag out there. Now the throw to second, not in time, but the lead runner cut down. An important defensive player for Independence, able to nab that runner.
If you're wanting to score this at home, it's 6-2-5. What a play by the shortstop, Abby Davis. Throwing it home. Usually you just want to take the out, but I fully support cutting down a quick go-ahead run here early in the first game of the state tournament.
So Kleitch at second base with 2 away now after the rundown. As Emery mentioned, 6-2-5 on the putout. As a pitch high and gets away from the catcher. That one rolls all the way back. Kenzie Fischel saw that one tap off the top of the glove, and now Kleitch at third base with 2 outs.
It's all about approach now with the runner at third base. You want to be patient, but you also want to make sure you try to put this thing in play.
Heather Himes, the cleanup hitter at the plate for West Delaware. No scores, we play in the top of the first inning. Himes, a sophomore, 42 hits this year, second on the team in RBI with 33. Shot right to third, and what a play by Mary Puffett. She was ready for that one, snags it, and West Delaware goes down in the first. No runs on 1 hit. There was 1 runner left on as we played a half inning of softball. You're watching the Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Mid-American Energy Championship Network.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
I am smart.
I am smart.
I am smart.
I am kind.
Kind.
I am kind.
I am strong.
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 I am important.
I am important.
I am important.
I am the Iowa girl.
I am the Iowa girl.
I am the Iowa girl.
I am the Iowa girl. I am the Iowa girl.
I am the Iowa girl. I am the Iowa girl.
Bottom of the first inning, Independence will get their first swings. It'll be Abby Davis leading off against the pitcher in the circle for West Delaware, Macy Kleitch. Davis, the shortstop, made a great play defensively coming home with a runner at third to cut down the scoring threat in the first inning from West Delaware. Independence, the number 4 seed, 30-11, with Davis leading things off. Count goes to 1-1.
What a job generally by the entire team. Great play by Puffett at third base as well to get him out of the inning. That had at least 1 run written all over it, and the defense really bailed him out.
Davis batting .280 this year for the Mustangs from the WAMAC Conference. 2-1, she shows bunt right in front of the plate. Throw from the catcher, not in time. It's an infield single. Good play jumping out from behind the plate from the catcher for West Delaware, Leah Wegman, but not in time to get the speedy Davis.
Well, and that's the thing. I talk about it a lot in softball. With 60 feet, as if you had any speed at all, put it in play on the infield and just leg it out, because that happens so frequently. That's why you see these astronomical batting averages. A lot of times it's just being able to beat ground balls on the infield, and that one settled right in front of home plate. Only the catcher had a chance to make the play, and she was able to beat it out in a bang-bang call at first base.
That'll bring to the plate Kaylee Hosh, the right fielder. She'll lay down a bunt from the third baseman over across in time. Good hop over there defensively from West Delaware as Ella Kolick able to make the play. But a sacrifice. Runner moves up to scoring position at second base with the speedy Davis, and Hosh does her job.
Well, now it's about driving in runs because that's what we saw with West Delaware there. A little bit of I wasn't crazy about the route home by the base runner earlier on in the West Delaware inning, but the base running has to be on point as well. Not only does Zeisser need to put this one in play somewhere in the outfield, but you got to be running hard if you're going to try to score.
The big bopper in this Independence lineup as a pitch misses off the plate, away 2-0. Zeisser this year leads the team in hits with 53, batting .408, 28 knocked in, 3 doubles to her credit.
Almost pitching around her, it looks like.
Open base at first base with a runner at second.
Because these are positioned to where she's not going to be able to get a big bat on them.
There's a shot into right field. Sharp single off the bat of Zeisser. Throw home. No chance of advancement there, but it'll be runners at the corners. Second hit of this half inning from Independence, and a good-looking swing from Zeisser.
Yeah, and that was interesting. As soon as I said, trying to pitch around her, they try to catch her kind of napping on the 3-0 on the inside corner, and I got the green light on 3-0. She was able to drive that into right field, didn't do anything too crazy with it, just put it in play and just kind of went with the pitch. And a great job by the right fielder, Wetterwar, to get that back in quickly with a great throw to hold the runner at third.
Mackenzie Hupke gets a little assistance down in the third base coaching box by her mom, the head coach, Heather. Tightening up that chin strap. She's ready to go as a pitch off the plate, away 1-0.
Hupke, only 2 stolen bases this year, but you're wondering are they going to try to do something quirky, center to second, try to get a throw so they might be able to score that runner behind.
Throw over to third is the steal at second base for Zeisser.
Right on cue. The Hawks were not going to be fooled by that one.
Stolen base number 15 of the year for Allie Jo Zeisser. Hupke now with 2 in scoring position. Missing away again. So we're seeing early on here Macy Kleitch missing off the plate to right-handed plates to the outside.
Now does she come back with a strike on 3-0 here?
And missed high. That'll load up the bases now.
I don't think that hurts you as much as it could have with first base open especially. Hupke, a great hitter, and 2 runners in scoring position. Now you have force outs at every base.
Davis at third, Zeisser at second, and Hupke at first base. Bases loaded, and a strike on the corner to Kenzie Fischels. Fischels, the catcher for Independence. Big opportunity here with the bases loaded and just 1 out. Came up empty on that cut, 1-1.
And the infield in. Again, you can see how these coaches want to play this. We don't want you to score anything.
Mm-hmm.
We know how hard it is to come from behind and win games. So the infield is in. Anything hit to them, they're coming home.
Off the plate with the pitch. Fischels this year batting .297. She's knocked in 24 in a big spot. In at the corners, infield in across the board. Swing and a miss as Fischels goes down for strikeout of the ball game for Macy Kleitch, and an important one with 1 out. Now there's 2.
And that's why you pitch around after the stolen base at second, which I think they were anticipating. You pitched around the big bat of Hupke, and now you have a chance with the sophomore Beatty to try to get out of here.
There's Beatty with the shot into center field. That'll drop in for a base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes the play at the plate. Safe. A 2 RBI single for Brooke Beatty, and it's 2-0 Independence.
And right as I say, a chance to get out of there, dead red sitting on the pitch on the first delivery. A lot of times you'll see batters take one to see the velocity, kind of get used to the movement. No such thing for the sophomore Brooke Beatty, and what an excellent job just putting it into center field, and now it's 2-0 in favor of the Mustangs.
Mary Puffett comes to the plate. She made a great play defensively to end the last inning. With runners on for West Delaware, she nabbed a liner right back at her at third base. Now a chance to add to a 2-0 lead as the pitch misses low, 2-0.
A little bit of control issues as well for Kleitch. We said, she hits the bats more than Klosterman does.
There's a pop fly in the infield. Second baseman over. Can't find it in the sun. It spins into foul ground, and it's a foul ball. Wasn't contact with the glove of the second baseman for West Delaware, Heather Himes, and it's a foul ball.
Yeah, now see, that was a great big break for Heather Himes because that ball was so high, and the sun is right behind us here on this field, this second field, Iowa Central field here at Harlan Rogers Complex. So Now, little bit of coaching being done by Tiff Rave out there in the circle, the entire infield and battery. Hey, you got to locate the sun. You got to block it with your mitt. You got to make sure that you locate that ball all the way. But they got a huge break by that thing rolling foul, and it's just a strike for Puffett. But we talk about this. She hits the bats more often. She wants to put it in play more often than Klosterman does, who's more of a strikeout and walk pitcher. Here, she's hitting bats, but Independence came to hit, and they are hitting on a level plane, and they are hitting the ball hard.
Tiffany Rave finishes her conversation, brought the whole infield in. Chance to exhale just a little bit here. Don't want to give up a big spot early in the ball game, already trailing 2-0. 2 outs, and Puffett at the plate. Swing and a miss there, 2-2. Twos across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A 2-0 lead for Independence with 2 on. Foul tip, and we'll try it again off the catcher's mask. And that'll get the catcher, Leah Wegman. Well, she wasn't awake. She's awake now.
Oh, yeah. That woke me up, too. I mean, I've got like 8 tons of caffeine in me.
No surprise. Little liner to the right side. Second baseman with the flip. Good play to finish off the other for Heather Himes. Able to get out of it. 2 runs on 3 hits. There were 2 runners left on for Independence. We played an inning of softball. 2-0 Indy with the lead over West Delaware. You're watching the Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Mid-American Energy Championship Network.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
This is more. More savings. More service. More focus on fresh, quality produce. Expert butchers who know more. And the most talked about meat in town. We are Fairway. We put everything into meat and grocery. And this is more.
Trent Condon, Emery Song are back with you as we go to the second inning. West Delaware at the plate. Leaders start at Central College, and scholar athletes succeed on the court and in the classroom. In the past year, 112 Central College student athletes received academic all-conference recognition. Learn how to be more than a spectator by visiting central.edu. Leading it off for West Central in the top of the second inning, it's Ava Wynn, followed by Claire Demmer and Joanna Voss. 1-2 the count. Back in the circle again, Mackenzie Hupke now working with the lead.
Well, and we talked about it in the first half of West Delaware's inning. They had a runner on third a couple of times and couldn't finish it off, as that just misses inside. The interesting thing is how often the team that scores first wins the game. And both teams were really protecting against that.
Pop fly to short center left field, running out. Can't come up with the play. That one bounced off the glove of the shortstop, Abby Davis. And the leadoff runner on again. This time Wynn gets on and mortars her way all the way to second base. Important hustling out of the box there.
And that's an error for sure. We saw the drop fly ball in left field, but that was certainly a hit in the first inning. But again, runner on second with nobody out. Stuff going on here for West Delaware. Now, the thing is, can they finish it off?
There's a pitch missing low and away. Showing bunt was Claire Demmer for West Delaware. 2-0 Independence with the lead. Class 4A quarterfinals. Trent Condon, Emery Songer with you here this afternoon. There's a bunt attempt to the right side. Pitcher will make the play over. Good hop from Hupke on the sacrifice. Demmer advances that runner to third base. So playing some small ball again here early on as West Delaware now need to find a way to score that run.
The first out for both teams in the first inning was a sacrifice bunt with the runner moving. Same thing here in the second, but the difference was West Delaware couldn't capitalize to get the run home, whereas the Mustangs did, but this one all the way to the fence.
And scoring from third. Great hustle by Wynn. West Delaware on the scoreboard. on the wild pitch.
You got to tighten the screws. These are the kind of things like the drop fly ball out there in left field. I know it's a long run, but you got to squeeze that. And then well-executed sacrifice bunt by West Delaware, able to move the runner along by Demmer. And then Voss doesn't have to even lift the bat off her shoulder. That pitch was not even close all the way to the backstop.
Offers at that pitch. Half-hearted attempt from Voss as she was fooled 1-1.
And that immediately, Trent, within two batters, completely flips the momentum that you had coming into the second inning. And all of a sudden, West Delaware is right back in this game.
Voss leads West Delaware for the Hawks, 35 knocked in this year. Has a homer, also has walked 10 times, 362 batting average as the count sits at 2-1. Up at the eyes, 3-1, and a hitter's count now for Voss. Good pop in that bat. You're thinking she's sitting dead red looking for something out over the plate.
Oh, yeah, this is a green lighter right here.
Shot to the right side, scooped up, and an unassisted play by the first baseman for Indy, IGHSAU.
Yeah, now see, here's the thing. She wanted dead red there, but that ball kind of ran in on her hands. A little bit of screwball spin from the righty Hupke, and she was unable to get her barrel on that one, and a little cue shot down to first base. So a good pitch there from Hupke.
Another tapper to the right side. This one foul from Tia Demmer.
So Trent, here's an interesting thing. Psychology-wise, when you're one of these coaches, especially early in these games and your team's struggling defensively, both sides have, I don't even know how you fix that. That's like one thing I don't know how you fix that.
Here's a roller to the shortstop. Nice play over there.
And of course they make a great play on a tough hop as soon as I say that.
Abby Davis with the putout. But West Delaware strikes for the first time. They trail 2-1 to Independence. You're watching the Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Mid-American Energy Championship Network.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Hey, high school sports fans. Are you following the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union online? Stay up to date with the latest information and scores from across the state as we share highlights and achievements from our student athletes. You can follow all the action on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. Just search at IGHSAU.
Independence 2, West Delaware 1 as we move to the home half of the second inning. Independence at the dish. Leading it off, it'll be the left fielder, Sydney Hearn, followed by Megan Brock in the top of the lineup, and Abby Davis due up for the Mustangs. Number 4 seed Independence, 5th seeded West Delaware. Been a tight one and good one to this point, Emery.
No, I told you, defense has been kind of shaky on both sides. They've made plays, but a couple of dropped balls in the outfield, a couple of little misplays on the infield. It's just like the one part of the game psychology. I just don't know. Like, you just yell, like tell the girls, hey, clean it up, tighten the screws.
2-1 on the called strike to Hearn. Hearn, left fielder for Independence. Left-handed swinging bat. Shoots one, and that one a foul ball. Oh, boy. Looked like possibly extra bases for Hearn on a good swing, but nothing to show for it for the senior. 32 hits this year. She scored 25 runs, batting .250. Does lead the team, though, with 19 walks. A good batting eye out there from the left-handed batter's box. 2-2 the count. And watches this one sail low. 3-2.
Heading into this payoff pitch here to the 8 batter, Sydney Hearn. She's thrown actually one more ball than strikes so far.
Wow.
So she's going to have to clean that up as well.
Macy Kleitch, the pitcher. Another one wasted foul to the left side. Hearn not a slap hitter, but does like to go the other way. You certainly see that with her batting style. Let that ball get deep into her before she attempts at it. 3-2, the count remains. And ball 4, Hearn, that good batting eye we mentioned. Now her 20th walk of the year, leadoff walk. Well, we've heard it many times throughout the years, Emery. Leadoff walks, how much they can hurt you.
They're just not. She's missing something out there.
Here's a bunt attempt up the first base line and put away right away as Brock is retired. Does advance the runner up on the sacrifice.
But that's the thing, Trent. She's got to throw more strikes. She has been a good strike thrower all season long and just isn't hitting her spots right now. And she hasn't walked a ton of batters all season long and has already walked a couple here in the first couple of innings.
Abby Davis, the shortstop, her second look. Began the game with a leadoff single, showing good speed. Came around to score the first run of the game. 2-1 now, Independence leading West Delaware in the bottom of the second inning. Pitch missing away. A 1-1.
And if she's going to miss the strike zone with some level of frequency, she knows she's just going to have to put it somewhere close into the center of the plate, and that's going to she's going to have to really rely on her defense all game long if they're going to be able to get outs.
Fouled straight back, just missed on that, did Davis.
So that goes back to my point at the beginning of the inning. The defense is going to have to be on point from this point forward unless she's able to start finding that command again.
Davis, a 280 hitter, fouls it back again, just missing. That's a good 2 strike cuts.
I've flinched 3 times this inning already, and
they're coming at you, not me.
I mean, I hadn't done softball in a couple of years, so I am out of shape.
Just missed. Catcher was lined up outside there, Leah Wegman. Hit this spot, but the spot was off the plate. And the count 2-2. This one up at the eyes, 3-2. Runner in scoring position, that's Sydney Hearn.
Got a dangerous section of this lineup coming up. You do not want to walk another.
Ooh. Came up with the strikeout there. That one was off the plate, but Davis fanned at it and came up empty. 2 outs now. It'll be Kaylee Hosh for Independence.
Went with a little curveball action there, kind of faded away from the right-handed swinging Davis, and she tried to protect and came up empty on it, like you said, Trent. That's a huge strikeout. And maybe that's the at-bat that kind of gets her back to finding where that zone is, especially around the corners.
Hosh sacrificed her first time up. And quickly down in the count now, 0-2. Hey, I mentioned Macy Kleitsch. Looks like maybe she's gaining a little bit of momentum now. Confidence in trying to get out of this half inning. And a strikeout again, back-to-back Ks. 3 in the game now for Macy Kleitsch. And Independence goes down here in the second. 2 complete. 2-1 lead for Independence over West Delaware. Emery Songer will come back with the play-by-play. You're watching the Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Mid-American Energy Championship Network.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
I wanted a big university experience.
Without the big university price.
That's why I chose Iowa Central.
What makes Iowa Central so different than other community colleges is its size.
Big campus, lots of programs, athletics, and performing arts.
I live right here on campus.
And the teachers know me by name.
I'll be career ready in 2 years.
And all my credits transfer to a university.
It's a big time experience.
Without the big time price.
Come see it for yourself.
Here at the state softball tournament, it is Independence in the field with a 2-1 lead, taking on West Delaware after a very quick warm-up toss or 2 for Mackenzie Hupke. She is quickly ahead, 0-2 to the 9-hitter for the Hawks, Leah Wegman, as West Delaware comes with the 9-1-2 batters here in the top of the 3rd inning. That just misses inside, and it is 1-2. Emery Songer, Trent Condon alongside here on the second diamond, Iowa Central Field. This is fouled straight back by Wegman. The interesting thing that you mentioned in the pregame, Trent, was that Mackenzie Hupke is by far and away the ace pitcher for Independence, whereas for West Delaware, they have 2 pitchers that you could trust in a big game like this. As this one, again, fouled off.
Good at bat here from Leah Wegman. She's battling up there. Got down 0-2 right away. She's been able to foul off a couple of pitches. Watch a pitch sail inside. And though pitch counts aren't as important in softball as they are in baseball.
Oh, paints the outside corner for strike 3 looking. That's the first K in the game for Hupke, and it comes at a good time. Wegman on the season, she leads the team in walks, so she has a very good batter's eye. But like you said, even though it's not really fatigue that you're worried about, seeing more pitches for the batters, like it does wear you out mentally trying to work through the batting order, especially when they're fighting off pitches like we saw from Wegman. Is back to the top of the order, Eve Wedewer, and she takes the ball low, 1-0.
Wedewer outstanding, got the game started with a double. Leads this team in many offensive categories.
This one fouled straight off of her front leg. A little bit of a skip on that, but she looks okay, and it's 1-1. That double was tattooed to lead off the game down there in left field, and Sydney Hearn, the left fielder for the Mustangs, was under it, but just couldn't squeeze it as she ran into the wall. It went down in the book as a double, but she was eventually cut down at home on an excellent play by shortstop Abby Davis. This one in the dirt, 2-1.
Now we talked about West Delaware, not softball experience out of this group. First appearance since 2013, but 8 of the players were on the team that made it to the state volleyball tournament. That kind of experience matters, playing in big moments.
This one inside, 3-1. Just being in a state tournament atmosphere, knowing what it's like to compete at the highest level in a particular sport, it does make these kind of things easier to adjust to. And that's outside, and that'll be a ball 4. Wedewer lost track of the count as well, and eventually she takes her base. First walk issued by Hupke, and that puts a speedy runner in Wedewer over there at first base. Wedewer this season, 14 stolen bases on the year. This team doesn't like to run as much as some of the other teams that we've seen, but they do have a few runners who they will entrust to go to second base.
3 different players with double-digit steals this year. Kolak, who's batting right now, leads the team with 19. The 14 you mentioned for Wedewer, Wynn also with 16.
Hupke, 0-1. The count here to Kolak. She wants to bunt it, bunts it. Oh, and picked up, throw to first base, won't be in time. Now see, pitcher Hupke a little bit late to say let it go because it had backspin on it. Probably would have rolled foul, but it was picked up by Kenzie Fischels behind the plate. And the sack bunt attempt goes down as an infield hit.
Yeah, we saw Hupke right there holler, let it go. She saw the spin on that softball coming back towards home plate. Not able to get that holler out in time, though. 2 on now for West Delaware, trailing by a run.
That's the communication that coaches talk about. You know, those are little things, but Fischels, she's just trying to make a play. And with the mask on, sometimes you can't really see exactly what that bounce is going to do. So the infield and battery meet in the circle, make sure they know exactly where they're going with everything. With 1 out, runners on first and second here, top of the 3rd inning. West Delaware down by 1, but in good shape here with the meat of their order coming up. And the pitcher, Macy Kleisch, at the plate, hammers this out in the left field, coming on, making a nice catch. Throw to second base in time! A double play. Hearn runs in, makes a nice running catch, and makes the accurate throw to second base to double off the runner, Wedewer. And just like that, mission accomplished for Independence. We head to the bottom of the 3rd, and it is Independence 2, West Delaware 1, here on the Mid-American Energy Championship Network.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.com.
Independence out of a jam with a clutch double play. Sydney Hearn with an excellent catch on a hard hit ball to hang with him there if you're Macy Clyde trying to help herself out. But now she's in the circle trying to keep the Mustang offense quiet here at the state softball tournament here on the Mid-American Energy Championship Network. And the first pitch to number 3 hitter Allie Jo Zeiser is the ball, 1-0. Second pitch That one outside as well, 2-0. Zeiser, first time up, singled out in the right field, going with the pitch. Able to help get the inning going and eventually would score a run for the Mustangs in that first inning. Fouls this one, spraying it to the right side, and it's 2-1.
Zeiser leads Independence, 53 hits this year, also the team leader in RBI with 28, 36 runs scored, and the most steals with 14, batting .408. Good place to start your lineup.
And that one right back at me, and again I flinched. Trent.
You're struggling.
Man, I built up such immunity to that.
Yes.
Over years of softball coverage. It's been a couple years, and now 2-2. This one way high. And it's 3-2 here to Zeiser. She'll be followed by Hupke and Fischels. The heart of the order here for the Mustangs as they look to try to give themselves a little bit of a cushion here because West Delaware's offense trying to click. One hopper right back to Kleisch in the circle and an easy play over to first for out number 1.
You know, one thing I'm continually impressed by is just how good defensively so many pitchers are. And you saw it there, Ada Kleitsch, fielding their position. They have so much to do, obviously, in the circle throughout the game and getting things started. But we've seen throughout this tournament, throughout the year, how good these pitchers are fielding their position.
First pitch, a strike to the outside corner to Hupke. And by the time they finish their pitch, Trent, and they square up to field their position, they're probably about, I would say, 39-ish, 38, 39 feet away from home plate. That ball can get you in a hurry as Hupke waves at the second pitch, and it's 0-2. Hupke was walked on 4 pitches, kind of an intentional walk, at least from the looks of it from our vantage point, back in that first inning to try to limit the damage.
Good waste pitch there, 0-2, going low and away, trying to get her to chase.
The 1-2, swing and a miss. 4th K for Kleisch. And with 2 away quickly, it's now Kenzie Fischels, who struck out swinging first time up back in the first inning. Bottom of the 3rd inning here, quarterfinal round, the 4-5 matchup. The 4-seed Independence at the plate. 5-seed West Delaware with Macy Kleisch in the circle, and a swing and a miss on the outside corner there for Fischels. 0-1, and you can tell she's not really seen Kleisch very well here, first at-bat plus.
5th on the team in hits this year with 35.
Pops this one into shallow center. Ava Wynn coming on, makes the routine play. Quick 1-2-3 inning, and Kleisch needed it. We'll head into the 4th. Still 2-1 Independence here on the Mid-American Energy Championship Network.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Iowa Public Television is the home of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Championships. We bring you live, uninterrupted coverage of the state championships in volleyball, basketball, soccer, and softball. Plus, special features highlighting the Iowa girl. Catch it all on statewide Iowa Public Television, on air or at iptv.org.
Back here at the state softball tournament, Harlan Rogers Complex, Emery Songer and Trent Condon, 2-1. Independence with the lead.
Central College is recruiting leaders. Come learn and play at the place that regularly wins national team championships, national individual titles, conference titles, and conference all sports titles. Visit central.edu to learn how you can be more than a spectator.
Quickly 1-0, and then a single through the hole for the cleanup hitter, Heather Himes. She is on board to start off the top of the 4th inning for West Delaware. The Hawks have had some success getting base runners on, but the Mustangs have done a good job cutting runners down at the plate. They had a double play to get out of a jam last inning, and now the 5-hitter Ava Wynn. We'll see what she's asked to do with the runner on first, and she'll attempt to bunt. It'll drop between the pitcher and third base. Long throw, not in time, and it's going to be a bunt single for Ava Wynn.
Well, and not a great jump over at first base by Heather Himes because that ball was bunted in the air. She wasn't able to dart off the base right away. Independence would have had an opportunity to get the force at second, went to first, but not quick enough.
So now, all of a sudden, West Delaware has things cooking again here against Hupke. A little bit of miscommunication there. It looked like Puffett might have had a shot at third base to maybe make a catch on the fly. But either way, this runner's on first and second. Nobody out here, trailing by 1 run here in the 4th inning, and the first pitch of ball to the 6th hitter, Claire Demmer. She was asked to sacrifice and did so successfully back in the 2nd, but now she's ahead in the count 2-0, and Trenton, you'd have to think that she's going to be trying to swing to drive in a run now at this point in this at-bat.
Yeah, Demmer 37 hits this year, batting .343, good contact.
Big hack, no contact. 2-1 the count, but definitely was thinking that, hey, if I can put this in the outfield with the runner at Himes at second base, pretty good speed, have a chance to tie this game up here in the 4th inning. The 2-1, she shows bunt now, but fouls it off, and now she will have to swing the bat. So changed up the conversation a little bit. Coach Tiff Rave down there in the third base coach's box asked her to try to lay that bunt down again, but instead it's now 2-2. The delivery from Hupke popped up and unplayable on top of the dugout on the first base side. We'll do it again.
Good contact swing there from Demmer, shortening it up a little bit, making sure she makes contact. Certainly don't want to strike out here, want to try to advance those runners any way possible.
2-2, foul straight back. I'm even flinching at those, dude. Like it's a
struggle.
What is going on? I haven't flinched this much since I watched Children of the Corn for the first time.
Need to get you back in the play-by-play a little more often.
Or at least just sit me behind home plate to get myself back in the mix. Check swing, but it does hit the bat foul ball. Demmer stays alive still, however. It's still 2-2. It's probably good for her that hit her bat. It was going to be close to being a strike on the inside corner.
Any way to battle here against a good pitcher.
2-2. Hupke delivers this ball hit high in the air, left field, charging in. Now the shortstop comes back, and it will be Davis making the catch. Usually it's a better play for the outfielder to make the catch, and we saw Davis drop one fading back earlier in this game, but she holds on to this one, and that's a very important first out for Independence. And now West Delaware with 1 out, runner still on first and second, will bring up the 7-hitter, Joanna Voss, who fouls the first pitch off 0-1.
Voss, not your normal 7-hitter, though, leads West Delaware with RBIs this year. She's knocked in 35 coming into tournament play.
Yeah, it is odd, but they have stuck with her down there. The senior batting for the freshman left fielder, Kayla Felton. And we definitely see why. This one up high. Runners are going to go as the ball was dropped by the catcher, Kinsey Fischels. That'll be a pass ball, as she just couldn't squeeze that one. And then as she tried to rip it out of her glove and try to make a throw to third base, kind of ran into the batter, Voss, but she was not impeding her. She was just standing in the batter's box as she is legally doing so. And now ducks on the pond. Is this one a strike?
Popped out of the glove again there.
What's going on behind home plate for Fischels? But runners on second and third here in a 1-2 count. Voss hunkered down. Another run scoring opportunity here. High pop up. This one leaking out of play again off the top of the dugout on the first base side. If Voss gets a base hit here, though, you have one of your best runners in Ava Wynn out there at second base, and Trent, you could be staring at a 3-2 game here. I mean, this is a big moment, not only for Voss, but for the two batters behind her to try to keep this thing going.
And it seems like West Delaware, though they're trailing in this one, they've gained momentum. They've continued to build on things. Feels like they're really starting to time up a little bit at Mackenzie Hupke.
And this, remember, they had a run cut down at third base, left another runner at third, had a double play after they had 2 runners on and just 1 out in the 3rd inning. So they have been knocking on the door several times. Check swing, did she go? Waiting for an appeal. Will we get an appeal? Late appeal. First base umpire says no go. Carl Woolridge. I think at a certain point, if it's that late of an appeal, you're not going to get the call. But
that's something Fischel needs to do right away.
This ball hit high and deep, foul, and out of play. And it is still 2-2. Good battle here between Voss and Hupke. As you mentioned, not your average 7-hitter. She is a 7-hitter that actually bats more like a 3 or 4-hitter. So a huge moment in this game here for both teams. And you would think that this will help swing that momentum pendulum one way or the other, depending on what happens in this particular at-bat. 2-2. Hupke delivers. Just misses inside, maybe a little bit low, and it is full. 3-2. First base is open, but clearly not trying to just give Voss the free pass.
Look for a rise ball here.
3-2. She goes in, try to get it at the knees, a little bit low, Hupke rolls the eyes, knows it was close. The last two couldn't have been closer to strikes, but doesn't get either call. And now the bases are juiced for the number 8 hitter, Taya Demmer. First pitch, a strike to her. She grounded out to shortstop Abby Davis back in the second inning.
Demmer hitting .315 this year.
Hupke, again, just misses. Frame attempt by officials, just is not getting it done for home plate umpire Gary Luax. The 1-1, Hupke working very quickly here, even with the bases loaded, and this one is low, 2-1. I mean, she's been working at a feverish pace. Even in the warm-up, she's only throwing 1 or 2 pitches to warm herself up, and she wants to get the ball and ready to go. Now she does take a little bit of a walk behind the circle as she's behind in the count, 2-1 for the 8 hitter, Taya Demmer. Nowhere to put her. The 2-1. Ground ball, fielded. Hupke goes home for the force out, and mission accomplished to this point. Bases still will be loaded after the fielder's choice. Demmer will take on first base. Voss moves ahead to second. Over to third is Ava Wynn. So still really good speed over there at third base as Himes has cut down 1-2 in your book for the second out. But now just 1 out away, Trent, from getting out of the jam.
And Hupke very calm, getting that ball, making sure she delivers a good strong throw to the home plate.
Misses well inside here, nearly hit Leah Wegman, the number 9 hitter. She went down on strikes looking after a long battle in the third. That catches the outside corner, and it's 1-1. And like you said, easily to panic in that situation, and Hupke did not. Nice and like you said, collected, picked it up, and made a strong throw home. The 1-1 hitter. Almost hit her on the first pitch, does hit her here, and that will hurt. With 2 outs in the inning, Hupke with a hit by pitch allows the tying run to score, and we are knotted at 2.
Well, that was one Wegman. In fact, I almost mentioned it. That first pitch, it almost hit her.
Take one for the team.
Yes, and she does just that. Plus, she's a catcher. You know she's tough.
She can take it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Get a courtesy runner for her over there at first base. The hit by pitch goes in favor, and
runner coming in for West Delaware. Our substitution brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com.
Sophomore Mia Payton is your courtesy runner for the catcher, Leah Wegman, of course. As long as she's the courtesy runner, they can switch back and forth along the base paths as much as Coach Tiff Rave wants. And still a jam here with the top of the order, and Wetterer. She hits this one hard down the right field line, and it's down. 1 run is in, a second run coming home. Payton will hold up at third base in a 2-run double for the leadoff batter, Eve Wetterer. And just like that, the 2-out double gives West Delaware a 4-2 lead here in the 4th.
We talked about that sophomore at the top, Eve Wetterer, how outstanding she's been for West Delaware, and she delivers again out of that leadoff spot with the bases loaded. Plates 2 more runs.
This one's going to be a looper, tough play. Nobody's going to be able to make it. That'll be an infield hit on the first pitch for Ella Kolak. Another run will score. Over to third is Redewer. And now Independent's going to have to try to keep this thing together as they're down 5-2. And West Delaware's fans and their players, super high energy as they weren't sure they were going to get anything out of this inning. And it was going to be they were still going to be down 2-1, but the big double down the right field line by Wetterer. Kolak with the little infield bloop single over the pitching circle. And now the 9th batter of the inning is the biggest bat in the order, and Macy Kleitch trying to help herself out, and she absolutely roped one into left field at Sydney Hearn, and it turned out to be a double play, but a hard hit one nonetheless, and now she has a chance with runners on first and third.
Well, that extra base hit for Eve Wetterer. Brought to you by Kruger Seeds. The next time you're in need of corn or soybean seed, give your local Kruger Seeds dealer a call. Kruger Seeds, first class seed, first name service.
All right, so everything happened so quickly there. Everybody was swinging on the first pitch. Now that we got everything reset after a little meeting in the circle for the coaching staff in the infield of the Mustangs, they're trying to draw a throw to second. They're not even going to entertain it. Taking second without the throw is Kolak. You see that very frequently in softball. So now runners on second and third, and 0-2 the count. This one a pop-up, shallow right center. It'll drop. and it will squirt by the right fielder, Hosh. 2 more will score, 7-2. West Delaware making it hurt here in the fourth.
Finding the green, finding spots. It's been a bunch of different ways. Some bloops, some blasts, 7 runs. Talk about a crooked number, 6 here in the fourth.
And just that little moving to second base and trying to draw the throw. Got her into second base, and then she scores on the next pitch. Unbelievable. And just like that, it's 7-2, and Independence will be in trouble, and the offense will have to start getting going here in the bottom of the fourth. They still have 4 offensive innings to work with. For the second time this inning, cleanup hitter Heather Himes is at the dish. 1-1 is the count to her right now. She's single to start things off through the left side. Pops this one out of play. She was eventually cut down at home, but that did not stop West Delaware from having a huge 2-out rally here and plating 6 runs, all with 2 outs. This one popped foul off the screen, and it is 1-2. Himes also lined out hard at Mary Puffett, and that first inning was looking like it could be a big inning as well for West Delaware, but they were unable to score anything. But they've been knocking on the door multiple innings here, and they finally broke through here in the fourth. Pop-up, foul ground. This one's going to be a tough play, and it will be unplayable over into the camera well on the third base side. Another long battle here for Himes.
Not the best effort I've ever seen out of the guys over in the camera.
Hey,
well.
I've been disappointed all day. So, like one hand, just getting out of the way completely.
Now, I probably shouldn't be saying anything. I mean, you've been flinching. You got a fence in front of you. Those guys are out in the elements.
I have no comment. 1-2 the count with 2 outs. Runner on first. That ball's absolutely crushed, but way foul. Look out in the concession stand area for that one, because that had some meat on it.
That's an easy one. You can drop by, foul balls, you bring it back, you get chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A or some wings from Jethro's. Doing it right here at the Girls State Softball Tournament.
See, that's why you stand over there, so you can return one of those if you're in the media well. Get yourself a sandwich. 1-2 the count. Swing and a miss. Hupke gets out of it, but not before a 6 spot. The big crooked number for the Hawks. And after 3.5 innings, we're halfway home here in the quarterfinals of the Class 4A state tournament. And it's 7-2 West Delaware over Independence right here on the Mid-American Energy Championship Network.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Back here live from the state softball tournament, Harlan Rogers Sports Complex. Emery Songer and Trent Condon. We head into the bottom of the fourth inning, Trent, and 6th spot put up by West Delaware. How can the Mustang Bats respond?
Well, we've seen them throughout the season been able to put some big offensive numbers together late in the season. They scored double digits 3 consecutive games, so know they can swing it. Got to chip away, though. No, there's no such thing as a 5-run homer here in softball. Got to do it little pieces at a time, and probably got to play station-to-station softball overall. Can't be looking to go first to third a whole lot unless it's a gapper. You got to go base by base trying to cut down at a 5-run deficit.
6 runs all earned on 5 hits, no errors, and 1 was left on back in the top half of this fourth inning as West Delaware finally able to break through after knocking on the door in both the first and third innings with nothing across. Here is Brooke Beatty, who had a 2-run single. That was the only RBI hit so far for Independence. And she's got a 1-1 count here, leading off the bottom of the fourth inning. Mustangs, as mentioned, have the offense to be able to try to chip away here. 12 offensive outs left to do with it. 2 balls, 1 strike. This one up and away to Beatty. And it is 3-1.
Beatty hitting .284 this year.
The 3-1 on the way. That's too far inside, and that'll be a leadoff walk. And if there was one thing you didn't want to do, it's to surrender a free base here if you're Macy Kleitsch. And we mentioned she has been kind of all over the place. So she hasn't been on her A game at all, Trent. There's a really good chance here that Independence, they wrap out a few hits. They can be right back in this game in a hurry. The Hawks defense has done a good job just kind of keep this thing as tight as they've been so far.
And with Klosterman in the pen, you wonder if she does get into a little bit of trouble, how quick the hook is going to be with West Delaware, not wanting to give up much of that 5-run lead.
And she's statistically been every bit the pitcher that Kleitsch has been so far this year. As it's quickly 0-2 here as that one dots the outside corner here for Puffett, who grounded a second first time up back in the first inning. 0-2 on the way. That's way outside, no offering here. Last 5 batters before that walk, Kleitsch did start showing signs of finding that strike zone in her command again, but the walk there, this one will flare right side, and no problem. Drops harmlessly in foul ground.
Almost knocked over the cameraman up there, the right field line.
Now see, like he's got a nice big piece of equipment that he's like, got to make sure he holds on to.
Yes.
So I can give him a break for not going 2 hands after that one.
39 hits this year for Puffett.
The 1-2. Hard hit ball, right center field. This one will be caught by the right fielder, Wetterer. She'll throw it back in. No advancement by the runner, Beatty. That one was hit pretty well by Puffett, but just out of the wrong spot, and there's one away.
Good defensive positioning there from Wetterer. We talked about her, what she does with the bat, but how about there in the field? Nice play. Not an easy one for a right fielder, ranging back towards the gap.
Left-handed batting, Sydney Hearn. She also drew a walk, but that was back in the second. This one low, 1-0. Only 3 hits in the game so far for Independence, and all of them came in that first inning. So while she's been fairly erratic, Kleitsch has done a good job of not allowing hard hit balls. This one misses again. It's 2-0. Just
Over
a little
on
out of character, Trent, for her to be throwing so many balls.
They're battling up there. Independence certainly making her work too.
Here's the 2-0. There's a swing and a miss. That had a little drop on it, and there's 2-1.
Yeah, went off speed. Haven't seen a ton of that either. It's been mostly fastballs with some movement on them.
Oh, she's
haven't seen that straight change though often.
No. This one low, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that she just doesn't have her best stuff today, and we can see that. But it is a testament to her and her willpower and her defense, the fact that she's only given up 3 hits so far. As this is fouled straight back. And it's full to Hearn. Designated player Megan Brock is the on-deck hitter. Runner at first, 1 out here, bottom of the 4th inning. It is 7-2 in favor of West Delaware, the 5 seed. This ball, line drive, caught. Third base, over to first. Nice stretch by Denmer over there. And Denmer finishes off a double play. Couple double plays in this ball game, and just like that, West Delaware's out of the inning. We'll head into the 5th inning. It is still 7-2. Hawks over the Mustangs right here on the Mid-America Energy Championship Network.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
All you have to do is you just have to get their feet here on the pavement and bing. Being in Des Moines, you just get it through the experience.
I'm a fan of a lot of our fast, casual cuisine.
A little theater, some great restaurants.
There's a lot going on musically.
If you can't find things to do in Des Moines,
you must be boring.
This is a magical place.
Trey Conant back with you. Emery Songer as we bring you home. Moving on to the top of the 5th inning, 5th-seeded West Delaware with a 7-2 lead over the number 4 seed Independence. Ground ball to the left side, across the diamond in time. Good play defensively from Mary Puffett. She's been outstanding over there in the hot corner for Independence, and there's 1 down in the 5th.
Got to stick with it if you're Independence here. You still have 9 offensive outs to work with, a pitcher, and Macy Kleitsch, who has not had her A stuff today. You can still be in this game. You just got to try to execute on this end, keep yourself in the game.
7 runs on 7 hits, no errors for West Delaware. 2, 3, and 1 across the board for Independence. This one's popped off to the right side and out of play. 1-1. Claire Demmer at the plate, the shortstop. Officially 0 for 1. She sacrificed in the second inning and then popped out to the shortstop in the big 6-run fourth. 2-1 the count for Demmer. She takes a look in. West Delaware in the black uniforms with the orange trim, the white numerals. Hawks across the letters. 30-10 this year for West Delaware, coming out of the Wamak East Division. There's a called strike.
Thought she might have drawn the walk there, but instead we'll have to get back in the box and try to deal with this Hupke payoff.
Ground ball down the line. That's a fair ball. Great shot up the line and a sharp single for Claire Demmer, her first hit of the day.
Great job by Hearn out there in left field getting to that ball quickly. That hit was just too hard. If she doesn't hit it as hard as she does, no matter where that was spotted in that left field line, she's taken 2, but that got to Hearn very quickly.
So with 1 out, that'll welcome to the plate Joanna Voss. First pitch swinging, that's way back to the wall. It is off the wall for extra bases. Chugging into third base is Demmer. A double for Joanna Voss, and she was inches away from a home run. 2 runners in scoring position on the big shot from Voss.
And this is the other thing we were talking about. Last inning, they started really doing damage swinging at the first pitch. Wetterer hit the 2-run double in that 4th inning on the first pitch. Ella Kolak hit a little bloop single on the first pitch. They've come out very aggressive here the last couple of innings, and they're not waiting for the 3rd or 4th pitch of the at-bat. They are hitting the first thing they see that they like, and that is why they are starting to score some runs.
All extra base hits during the state softball tournament brought to you by Kruger Seeds.
Oh, my gosh.
As that one is snagged at the pitcher's mound. Then the throw goes wide, and the run will come in. Umpires with their hands up there.
I think it hit a media member over there in their box. It was.
They get a call a dead ball now. Will the runner?
They should all move up 1 base, so the run should count, and they should move the runner from 2nd over to 3rd, I believe.
Demmer had an absolute shot, a great play by Hupke.
How did she catch that? I have no idea how. She's not playing with a mask. She's one of the few pitchers now that don't play. She doesn't play with a mask, but she's going to wish she had that throwback. Almost had the double play at third base, but the throw was wide. So despite the great play, it'll be E1 with the runners moving on, and the 8th run of the game scores on her error after the great play that she just made.
8-2 now. West Delaware extends their lead with another run here in the 5th inning. They got 6 in the 4th and 1 in the 2nd. 8-2 lead in the 5th. Coming up empty is Leah Wegman. Wegman brought in a run, and she was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. And that got things started for West Delaware during the 6-run inning. Slow roller to the right side. Flipping in time for Independence is Brooke Beatty. And that puts the side down. But another run for West Delaware. They extend their lead 8-2 over Independence as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. You're watching the state softball tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Mid-American Energy Championship Network.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
They say Buena Vista University is in the middle of a bunch of fields.
Hey guys, wait up!
Game on.
They say our idea of fun is morning tea, and afternoon tea,
and anytime tea.
And we hang out like bumps on a log.
They say Storm Lake, Iowa isn't in the center of the action. And when we study, we're not exactly grounded.
But you know what we say.
You gotta see it to believe it.
Bottom of the 5th inning here as West Delaware's extended their lead now 8-2. As we play in the bottom of the 5th inning, Independence will start with the number 9 hitter, Megan Brock, and the top of the order due up, Abby Davis and Kaylee Hosh here in the 5th inning. Pitch missing low, quickly 2-0. Got to find a way to try to get some momentum on their side.
Well, now the breaks just aren't going their way now. They're going to have to try to switch that tide as well. Just try to get positive momentum, get a couple of runners on, maybe get an RBI hit here or there. You still have, you're going to have, everybody will bat one more time. You have 9 offensive outs remaining. You just got to try to generate some base runners here.
Pitch up. Now 3-0 to Brock. Megan Brock for Independence, the number 9 hitter. A senior with 22 hits this year, batting .293. She's driven in 13, and she draws a walk. So the leadoff batter on again. 3rd different inning we've seen with a leadoff walk. But of those 3, nobody's come around to score.
Which is, she's gotten the next 3 outs. As Brock's going to get run for by her flex player, Abby Myborg, who has been playing center field, so this doesn't affect anything in the batting order, but now you got to find ways to generate more base runners and try to get this one home.
So Myborg in to run. Substitution in today's game brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. A little bit of speed out there, center fielder certainly.
Yeah, so now I don't even know I don't think the bunt makes any sense. You don't want to be giving away your outs. They square around, she's going to try to hit it, but knocks it down right to the pitcher.
Second base for 1, trying for the double play, no, but got the lead runner cut down as Abby Davis hits into the fielder's choice.
You got your leadoff hitter up, and I'm not a coach, so I don't know. Heather Hupke knows how to coach softball way better than I do, but I don't know about giving away outs, especially if it's going to cut down your lead runner like that one did.
1-6 on the putout and a called strike to Kaylee Hosh. Hosh 0 for 1. She sacrificed in the first, then struck out to end the second. Batting with a runner on first. Foul tip off the catcher as Leah Wegman took that one off the shin guard.
And that's the other thing, too, Trent. It's a matter of making contact now because she has done a great job throughout this game. When she has gotten base runners on, she's actually kind of tightened it up a little bit. It was just very odd.
Pitch missing away. A 1-2 now for Hosh. Allie Jo Zeiser waiting on deck. Big hitters for Independence. Ground ball right side. That'll find the hole into right field and squirt past the right fielder. Hustling over is Davis to third. Big turn, but she'll wait right there. Good decision.
Maybe that's the break we were talking about.
By Davis, not trying to turn the wheels there. You need a lot to go your way, trailing by 6, 8-2. A single for Hosh, and then an error against the right fielder, allowing both runners to move up an extra 60 feet. Davis at third, Hosh at second, and here's Allie Jo Zeiser. Splits the plate with the fastball, 0-1.
Here's the meat of your order. These are your RBI hitters. Zeiser, Hupke in the on-deck circle, officials in the hole. Got to try to capitalize and get a group of runs here now. You don't know if you're going to get this opportunity with this part of the order again.
Needs something crooker if Indy's going to get back into it. Trailing 8-2. Bottom of the 5th inning. Winner moves on to the semifinals. Last check, Carlisle was leading in the other quarterfinal from this side of the bracket. Carlisle, the number 1 seed, with a 3-1 lead in the 4th inning. We'll keep you updated on that one. Here, 8-2. West Delaware leading, but Independence threatening. Driven to right field. That one into the mid of the right fielder. Coming up, throwing. Here's the play. At the plate. In time. What a throw from right field. Eve Wetterer again doing it with the defense.
She gave up the error, which was the only reason a runner was at third to begin with, and she says, don't worry, guys. I got this under wraps. What a bullet.
Strong throw ends the inning, and a goose egg on the board for Independence. You're watching the Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Mid-American Energy Championship Network.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
This is more. More savings. More service. More focus on fresh, quality produce. Expert butchers who know more. And the most talked about meat in town. We are Fairway. We put everything into meat and grocery. And this is more.
Top of the 6th inning, Trent Condon joined by Emery Songer as we are with you at Harlan Rogers Sports Complex in Fort Dodge. Iowa Central Field, an 8-2 lead for West Delaware. They look for more. A leadoff single off the bat of Eve Wetterer, and how many times we see it end the inning with a great play defensively, begin the inning with a good play offensively.
Well, I mean, she's been fantastic, and she committed the one error that West Delaware had, and you thought maybe that was the break that would allow Independence to try to get themselves back in the game, and then she just erases it with a great catch and then a bullet peg down to home plate. And it wasn't even close, let's be honest. I mean, it wasn't even worth a slide at home plate. It wasn't a bang-bang at all. Had her by 3 or 4 steps. So,
and it was the speedy Abby Davis, too.
Yeah, and then she comes up, first pitch, next inning, she singles. I mean, she's doing everything.
Sacrifice bunt attempt in time. Oh, wow. Up the line, showing speed there. Ella Kolak. She's had infield singles all over the place.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting, though. Third baseman Mary Puffett had to take 2 grabs to try to get that out of the mitt, but it looks like they've already put up a hit. So, I mean, you got speedsters like Redower and Kolak at the top of this order, and then the bats of like Kleisch and Himes right behind them. That's a recipe for disaster every time they roll around.
West Delaware, the 5 seed here, leading 8-2, 2 on, nobody out. As a pitch spins off the plate for a ball from Hupke.
Kleisch last time, 2-run single down the right field line, which really just helped pour it on in that big 6-run 4th inning.
This one fouled back.
Did not flinch at that one.
Getting better.
Getting better. It's coming back to me.
Wetter at second base, Kolak at first, Kleisch at the plate. Singled in the 4th as the ball gets away, diving into 3rd will be Wetterer. The other thing,
she got a great read on that.
Wetterer, just a softball. She's got a lot of great softball in
She's
front
about
of her.
to be one of the All-State players the next couple of years, I think.
There's a ground ball, just fouls. That one was,
unless she gets hit by a ball hit that hard.
Timed up nicely from Kleisch, just in front, 1-2. Fielder's choice, left stranded at 3rd back in the 1st inning, then lined out to left before the single in the 4th.
I don't think anyone wants to see this team. 5 seed, this is a dangerous team.
Ground ball back to the pitcher. Nice play from Hupke, but she'll deliver to first base in time for the putout. Runner Kolak makes her way to second base on the ground out. With a chance to breathe there for a moment for Independence.
Yeah, Hupke did a great job. She's never lost her composure despite all of this happening around her. She's getting up 11 hits, 8 runs. Defense made a couple errors behind her. She's made an error.
There's a shot that just foul.
But she has played, for the most part, her position well defensively. She's been taking deep breaths. She likes to pitch quickly. Just has not been her day out there in the circle, but her composure has still been intact.
Himes at the plate, the cleanup hitter for West Delaware. Himes, a 1-for-3 performance, second on the team with runs batted in. She's got 33, and another sophomore for this West Delaware squad. Pop fly in the infield, couple of steps over. Puffett will put it in the mitt for the second out. Chance to escape here, an out away for Independence, and certainly a necessity, already trailing by 6.
Well, and that's that's what I've been like thinking in my mind. It's just you're going to try to get some offensive momentum by playing good defense, and get out of a jam like this would go a long way to doing that.
Another pop fly and another put out over there by the third baseman, Mary Puffett. No runs on 2 hits. There were 2 runners left on as we go to the home half of the 6th inning. West Delaware with an 8-2 lead over Independence. You're watching the state softball tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Mid-American Energy Championship Network.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
All you have to do, you just have to get their feet here on the pavement and bing. Being in Des Moines, you just get it through the experience.
I'm a fan of a lot of our fast, casual cuisine.
A little theater, some great restaurants.
There's a lot going on musically.
If you can't find things to do in Des Moines,
you must be boring.
This is a magical place.
Bottom of the sixth inning from the state softball tournament, Class 4A quarterfinals. West Delaware an 8-2 lead over Independence. Mustangs coming to bat. It'll be due up 4, 5, 6, Hupke, Fischels, and Beatty. As the Mustangs try to get back into the game, called strike on the outside corner, 1-1 to Hupke. Hupke looking for her first hit. 0 for 1, walked in the first inning, then struck out in the third. Comes up empty, still out there in the circle. It's Macy Kleitch for West Delaware.
And with this cushion, you would imagine she's going to have the green light to finish this one out regardless, unless things get really sketchy.
Lined out right to the second baseman, Heather Himes, with the put away for the first out of the sixth.
Now, you had something a brewing a little bit in the fourth inning, and then lined out into a double play. Sydney Hearn lined out to the third baseman Kolak, and she threw over to first to get the double off of Beatty.
This one tapped back.
That one was right in my face. I had to flinch. And then last inning, you had runners on second and third and one out, and then got the double play from Wetterer's throw in right field. So a couple of double plays the last couple of innings. Otherwise, you could have been back in this game.
Popped up in the infield. Himes going to take control from second base. And she is now an out away from tying a state record putouts in an inning. The record's 3. It will never be broken.
That's impressive.
That's all you can do.
Yeah. I can't believe you were able to dig that one up.
Deep, deep in the well. We got the booklet here with all the state records. That one not listed.
I was going to say,
there's got to be thousands of ladies that have certainly had that one throughout the years.
Oh, man. Statistician extraordinaire, Frank Condon.
2 outs in the bottom of the sixth inning. 8-2 lead for West Delaware. Chopper to third. Strong throw and making the play in time. Ella Kolak with the putout. Well, it'll be no record for Heather Himes, but a 1-2-3 inning defensively for West Delaware. We go to the seventh inning. 8-2 lead for the Hawks over the Mustangs. You're watching the Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Iowa Public Television is the home of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Championships. We bring you live, uninterrupted coverage of the state championships in volleyball, basketball, soccer, and softball. Plus, special features highlighting the Iowa girl. Catch it all on statewide Iowa Public Television, on air or at iptv.org.
Claire Demmer to lead it off for West Delaware. Top of the seventh inning. The Hawks leading Independence by a score of 8-2. Emery Songer alongside myself, Trent Condon, here in the Class 4A quarterfinals. Demmer with the shot back up the middle. There's a leadoff single for the Hawks, and this West Delaware team, boy, they just don't stop.
Well, we got speedsters and good contact hitters like Wetterer and Kolak. You got big bats like Kleisch and Himes in the middle. Dimmer, we saw her hit well. Wynn's got a couple of hits. Joanna Voss, who's at the plate right now, leads them in RBI coming in. I mean, there are no slouches at the bottom of the order either. And Taya Dimmer and Leah Wegman. I mean, I wouldn't want to see this team. They might be the 5th seed, but they have two pitchers that can realistically pitch well against you. They play really good defense. We've seen that. A couple of double plays turned out there. They communicate well with each other. They're the kind of team you just don't want to see in a tournament like this.
1-1 the count now to Joanna Voss. Voss with a double as the ball squirts away. And taking second base is Demmer on the pass ball. But Voss, the number 7 hitter, leads the team in RBI.
That's like the 3rd or 4th time that the ball has just bounced out of the glove of officials behind home plate. I don't know if he needs a little bit more oil or something in that thing, but it's not getting squeezed properly, and they've given up several free bases on those.
Winner moves on. This one hit off the glove of the pitcher, but able to bring it back in. Boy, looked like that could have been dangerous.
Well, and here's where I'm at on that one, Trent. Again, that's a line drive at her face. She doesn't have a mask on, and she's still able to compose herself while the ball's in the air, get her glove up, tipped it to herself, and then still had the wherewithal to look back the runner at second as the wild pitch will allow Denver to move on into third. But, I mean, despite the 8 runs and the 12 hits and the fact that she's losing by 6 runs, Mackenzie Hupke's demeanor in the circle I've been very impressed with.
Runner at third, 1 out. As a pitch on the outside corner, catching the black, and a called strike to Taya Demmer. Demmer, the first baseman, reached on a fielder's choice, scored a run in the 4th. Slow ground ball left side, taking a peek at third, then the throw over just in time. Mary Puffett used all the time necessary there, even took a peek at third to make sure that runner wasn't coming home.
I love well-executed defensive plays in baseball and softball. And those last 2 plays by both Hupke and Puffett have been perfect.
There's a pop fly back behind second base. Making the play is the shortstop Davis for the final out. No runs on 1 hit. There's a runner left on as we go to the last chance for Independence. West Delaware with an 8-2 lead. You're watching the Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Mid-American Energy Championship Network.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Trent Condon, Emery Songer back with you as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. West Delaware 3 outs away from punching their ticket to the state semifinals over on the other field, the Kruger Seeds field. It is Carlisle, the number 1 seed, leading 9-1 over Denison Schleswig. West Delaware holds on. Looks like they'll get a date with the top seed, Carlisle.
That's always fun. They're never tough at all.
Yeah.
They've never won any games up here.
Carlisle, one of the top programs year after year in the state. And no surprise, the number 1 seed again. Mary Puffett to lead it off for Independence. Sydney Hearn, Megan Brock due up 7-8-9 for the Mustangs. Pitch off the plate 0-1. Or 1-2, excuse me.
Get a couple of hits here, Trent. Get that top of the order rolled back around 4th time through. You never know.
There's a pop fly to the right side. Long run over, making the play. Wow. Heather Himes, she has stepped up defensively here the last couple of innings. Maybe the best of the night right there.
Well, let's be honest. If that drops, that's 2 bases. And that gets that little rally going. You think you got some hope, and then all of a sudden you're only down to 2 outs and nobody's on base. That is a huge play in the game, even though it's a 6-run game. Defense, you could say all the way around the diamond, has been phenomenal for West Delaware. They can pitch it, they can catch it, they can hit it, they can run. There's nothing that I see here that tells me this team couldn't compete or beat Carlisle.
Hearn to the plate. She's 0 for 1. Walked her first plate appearance in the second inning, then lined out to the third baseman as the count goes to 1-1.
That was one of those double plays that ended an inning that Independence had runners on and couldn't do anything with, thanks to the phenomenal defense.
Shot foul. Dangerous up there with that one.
Those nets aren't there, man. I understand that there are nets that are protecting people on the other field.
Yes. And a cold strike 3. It'd been a while since we'd seen a strikeout, but Kleitsch gets another one there.
Number 5, and she had, through 4 innings, 39 strikes and 31 balls. That's not a very good ratio, but she has really tightened up. Now, going into this inning, she had 54 strikes to 38 balls. So she eventually found the control after her team spotted her a 6-run lead.
Brock will now bat for the third time. The last chance for Independence, looking to extend this game. Down 8-2. Fastball splits the plate, and it's 1-1. Brock walked her last plate appearance. That was to begin the 5th inning. Another fastball and another called strike. 1-2. Down to their final strike. Strike 3 swinging. West Delaware wins it 8-2. They move on to the state semifinals. And a possible date with top-seeded Carlisle, who leads 9-1 in their matchup.
Well, Trent, I can tell you this. Congratulations on Independence for an unbelievable season, but for the most part, as far as I'm concerned, this West Delaware team has all of the makings of a team that can surprise people and make their way to a potential state title. I'm not picking them against Carlisle at this point yet, but they are the kind of team that can beat Carlisle.
Well, so many great performances. Of course, in the circle, Macy Kleitsch, after she gave up those 2 runs in the first inning, looked a little shaky. She was able to bear down and then put up 6 scoreless frames after that. Gives up just 4 hits in the game, and 3 of them came during that first inning. Just 1 hit over the final 6 innings from her. But at the top of the lineup for West Delaware, Eve Wetterer finishes the game, getting on base all 4 times, 3 hits, a double, 2 singles, a walk, had a couple of RBI, really did it all, and defensively, outstanding performance, including cutting down a runner at home.
Yeah, the throw was unbelievable. She fielded the position really well. Did commit an error, but solved that quickly with that throw home on the double play. But the whole team, like I said, they can pitch it with 2 different pitchers. They can hit it 1 through 9 in the order. They can run around the bases. They have good fielding. The coaching seems to be not like super tight and really antsy and wanting to make a lot of changes. They just kind of let the girls play. They are a dangerous team. That's all I'm going to say about the Hawks.
Well, a good one here goes the way of the 5th seed West Delaware as they win it 8-2. That'll do for our coverage this afternoon of this one. Another game right around the corner. You can catch them all on the Iowa Girls High School Championship Network. On behalf of Emery Songer and our whole production staff, I'm Trent Condon. Signing off. Thanks for watching our live coverage of the 2019 Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Mid-American Energy Championship Network.